we only got to spend a little bit of time with the MCU version of the Illuminati that we saw on Earth 838. Now, of course, with the way that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness leaves off, there's still a debate among fans whether we're ever going to get back to that universe or not, and I think the answer is pretty much a yeah, because there's still stories left over to tell with some of those characters. And of course, an incursion event. And while that story is probably going to continue down the road, it looks like there's going to be another new version of the Illuminati in a future film. So this comes from the producer of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, who was asked about the use of the Illuminati, of course, what they had to offer to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, how different Earth 838 is, and whether we could ever see that concept and team return. And what Palmer reveals is the fact that in the multiverse, anything is possible. Different versions of the Avengers, different versions of the Illuminati, and different teams that we haven't seen before. But also, they have ideas, very exciting things that they want to explore in the future in terms of other teams in other universes. And he did say, and I quote, "We might get to see an Illuminati of the main MCU one day," end quote. Now, again, I think that's an important one because I think as we continue to go down into deeper corners of the MCU lore from the comics, and we've seen plenty of it this year alone, from Ms. Marvel to Doctor Strange to Thor Love and Thunder to Moon Knight, we're already rapidly expanding our knowledge and depth of how far they're going to go into the comics and what obscure things they could pull out. So having another version of the Illuminati, whether it's multiverse or going back to the one we saw that's rebuilt with a new team because they all died, is probably a given. And Michael Waldron, the writer of the film, also teased that bringing back the Illuminati isn't that hard. And if they were to bring in the old version in some sort of crazy way or a new iteration, that they could really break the movie apart, do something completely insane, and do something that you don't expect. Go nuts with it and see what happens. And I think this again ties everything back to incursion events. How are you going to deal with those? Because the Illuminati were dealing with it. But now there's going to be incursion events in other multiverses. There's going to be an incursion in the MCU. I mean, Deadpool's got to be connected to it. So you're going to have to pull in a lot of aspects of a lot of different things. And at some point, we're going to have to get a MCU version of the Illuminati, at least one that includes MCU characters and also other multiversal ones. So probably some sort of Illuminati / Avenger war is bound to happen somewhere.